Please welcome the interim president of Woodbury University, Jeff Bellantoni, and the president of University of Redlands, Krista Newkirk.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Woodbury University's 61st Annual Fashion Runway Benefit. 61 years, can you believe that? The fashion show marks the culminating event of resilience, the theme of this year's Made at Woodbury, our annual showcase of student work in architecture, design, media arts, and business. We're gathered here in this beautiful, beautiful space to celebrate creativity, vision, and style. And let me tell you, this room is already overflowing with all three. Tonight, we honor the past, celebrate the present, and look ahead to a very exciting future. And speaking of the future, we're thrilled to be joined tonight by a very special guest, President Krista Newkirk of the University of Redlands, Woodbury's future partner in an exciting and historic merger.
Thank you, Jeff. I couldn't be happier than to be here tonight. I mean, what an atmosphere. The energy, the elegance, the looks in this room. I mean, let's face it, you all are slaying it tonight. Way to go. The exciting merger between Redlands and Woodbury combines two historic Southern California universities into a forward-looking institution built on our shared values of innovation, community, and a bold vision for the future of education. And tonight's celebration is a perfect reflection of what we're building together, a place where creativity thrives.
Exactly. And there's no better symbol of that creative spirit than Academy Award-winning film costume designer Ruth E. Carter, who continues to push boundaries and redefine possibilities in fashion and film. Her visionary approach blends historical authenticity with contemporary innovation, creating iconic looks that transcend the screen. Tonight, we will be proud to recognize her with the 2026 Woodbury University Creative Inspiration Award. We will also be recognizing our outstanding fashion alumni with special honors tonight, in addition to our senior awards. It's going to be a night to remember.
This kind of experience is rare, and it's one of the many reasons this merger is so meaningful. Together, Redlands and Woodbury will build on the historic legacies to create new opportunities together for students, faculty, and the communities we serve. And let's take a moment to appreciate the real engine behind these student successes, the families and friends who are with us tonight. Thank you for trusting us with your students' creativity, and thank you for cheering them on through every sketch, every critique, and every last-minute sewing marathon. We're very proud of them, and we know that you are too.
To our graduating designers, this is a milestone. You've poured yourselves into your work, and tonight, you show the world what you are capable of. But this isn't the finish line, it's the beginning. In reality, it's not just talent, but hard work and dedication that will define your success. Keep that courage, that tenacity, that wild creative spark, because talent gets noticed, but resilience and grit gets remembered.
And if you're feeling inspired tonight, and how could you not? Remember, you can always help pay it forward. There's a QR code on the back of your lookbook, and every donation helps support the next generation of designers, thinkers, and creators. So before we turn the spotlight to the runway, let me say this: design is everywhere. Design defines our culture, and tonight defines this very moment. Please join us in welcoming someone who lives and breathes that spirit, Interim Dean for the School of Media, Culture, and Design, Heather Flood.
Thank you, Jeff and Krista. And thank you all for being here tonight. It means the world to our students, our faculty, and our creative community. Woodbury's fashion program has deep roots dating back to 1931 and a legacy shaped by visionaries like Howard Greer and William Trevia, who designed the iconic white pleated dress Marilyn Monroe wore standing over the New York subway grate in the 7-Year Itch. Our alumni have created iconic looks, defined trends, and left an indelible mark on the industry. And thanks to resources like our fashion study collection, over 5,000 garments, including pieces from Alexander McQueen, Vivienne Westwood, and Givenchy, and so many more, our students are immersed in the real work, the real legacy every single day. Every year, this show is a celebration, not only of our graduating designers, but of the power of fashion to tell stories, shift perspectives, and ignite dreams. And at the center of this year's celebration stands a designer whose work does all of that and more. Celebrated for her work in bringing to life the vibrant and culturally rich costumes of Black Panther, she made history as the first Black person to win the Academy Award for Best Costume Design, repeating this groundbreaking work with the success of Black Panther: Wakanda Fever, and becoming the first Black woman to win multiple Academy Awards in any category and the first costume designer to win for both a film and its sequel. Most recently, for her work in Ryan Coogler's Sinners, she earned her 5th Academy Award nomination, becoming the most nominated Black woman in Oscar history. And so it is my honor tonight to present Ruth E. Carter with the 2026 Creative Inspiration Award. Ruth is in the midst of traveling back from her current film based in Italy, so she's filmed a brief message.
Hi, Woodbury University. This is Ruth E. Carter, sending you love from Rome. As a costume designer, I'm touched to be your fashion honoree. Storytelling is at the heart of what I do. And when the story calls for fashion, fashion becomes the story. Today, you are the story. There's something special about being Woodbury made. It's a spirit of creativity, resilience, and originality that stays with you wherever you go. Keep creating, keep pushing, and keep believing in your vision. Congratulations, and keep shining.
We're excited to celebrate with Ruth tomorrow in person at our graduation ceremony. Thank you, Ruth. You've inspired us with your groundbreaking achievements. And now, accepting on Ruth's behalf is Woodbury fashion design alum, Donnie White, who also designed my gown tonight. Hello. Thank you, Donnie. Shady. Okay. Thank you. Before we begin the show, I have the pleasure of introducing someone who's been instrumental in shaping tonight's presentation. Our program director of fashion design and a constant champion of our students and faculty. Please welcome Anna Leiker.
Thank you, and good evening. As we celebrate Ruth Carter's extraordinary legacy, it's clear that her work continues to inspire the next generation of costume designers. And tonight, we have the opportunity to recognize 3 of these artists, our very own alumni costume designers. Please join me in welcoming a designer who doesn't just create costumes, she designs world. It's Brea Holmes. Brea's journey began here 10 years ago when she pursued her passion for costume design. Even then, she stood out when she approached her storytelling. For her senior project, she reimagined Disney's Pocahontas through the lens of Disneyland, inspired by Banksy's work, challenging cultural narratives and character representation. Today, Brea is a costume designer whose work spans film, television, theater, music videos, and live entertainment. She was collaborated with major companies, including Marvel Studios, Disney Plus, Universal, Music Mexico, TNT, Lionsgate, and many more. She is a proud member of the Costume Designer Guild and Theatrical Wardrobe Union, placing her among the highest professional ranks in the field. But what makes Brea exceptional is not where she works, is how she works. She doesn't just dress actors, she creates psychology, the entire world through clothing, and builds characters. Brea's creativity doesn't stop at costume design. She has expanded her passion into visual art and painting, continuing to explore storytelling in deeply personal ways. When asked, how does heritage shape your art? She shared that as a Black woman and visual storyteller, shaped by legacy of spiritual resilience and creative expression, her background deeply informs how she explores identity, symbolism, and what lies beneath the surface. Her paintings are rooted in personal testimony and a journey of faith. Each piece reflects moments of growth, struggles, and transformation. Brea has been featured as a guest artist in multiple exhibits. She even had solo shows. What's especially powerful about Brea is her intention to connect. Her goal is to help people feel seen, to invite reflection and faith, and to point to something greater in real and personal way. Please join me in congratulating Brea Holmes as we present her with the Alumni Award in Costume Design. Congratulations, Brea. And now let's give a warm welcome to Marissa Soto, our 2021 Fashion Design alum. In just 5 years since graduating, Marissa has already become a member of local 705 motion picture costumers as a set costumer, and she is also part of Latinos in Costume. She works as a freelance costume designer, fashion designer, and on top of that, she's a seamstress, pattern maker, ager, dyer, so she pretty much does it all. And it all started for her 2021 senior collection, when she blended streetwear with geek culture, where each look was inspired by horror films. It really sat right on the line between fashion and costume. For Green Day's American Idiot musical, Marissa worked as the lead craft artisan, building custom pieces, painting, doing dye work. And while working on Hamlet, she picked up millinery, creating headwear, including a piece for an actress, Gina Torres. She also worked as a set costumer on Fall Out Boy's Hold Me Like a Grudge music video. If you've seen it, you know it's wild, high energy, and a little absurd in the best way. The costume really leaned into that, going more theatrical and comedic rather than traditional fashion. Maurice also is the lead stylist for the Academy's Museum Cyberpunk VR experience. She got to style actress Rosa Salazar, known for Alita, Battle Angel, in this fully immersive sci-fi world, which is still actually on view at the museum. Recently, Marissa worked as a costume designer in a Latino love story set in the 1950s. And you can already see the detail of her work and the range of her work. Another really fun side about her work, and that she calls geek couture. She mixes fashion and pop cultures for premieres. Her designs have shown on red carpets, including a replica of Kylie Jenner's Chrome Hearts look, made for Hacks actress Meg Stalter at the 2026 Critics' Choice Awards. It even got featured in Vanity Fair. Marissa works on sets like Netflix documentaries Unknown Number and Lacey Patterson Case, and HBO's Is Florida Man. She also worked for 2024 Grammys Official After Party. And one of the best parts, she still comes back to Woodbury as a guest speaker, teaching costume history, demonstrated toga draping, and talking about ancient Greece. Please join me in congratulating Marissa Soto as we present her an Alumni Award in Costume Design. And now, please join me in welcoming our 2019 fashion design alum, Amber Luke. Hi. From the very beginning, Amber didn't think small. Her senior collection transformed the runway into something very cinematic. Dragon-inspired forms drawn from the flowing architecture of Victor Horta. Wings lace-cut from wood and acrylic echoed the curves of wrought iron staircases. It wasn't just fashion, it was storytelling in motion. Through her work with USC, she became a trusted collaborator with the film community, so much that she even had her own office while designing for film. On that project, filmed on the Warner Brothers lot, she collaborated with the NBC Universal Costume House and industry team, bringing together filmmakers and the professional world. Her work moves seamlessly across time, place, and genre. In Neither Donkey Nor Horse, set in the 1910 Manchurian Plague, Amber helped bring history to life, supporting a story about Doctor Who and invention of what we know today, N95 mask. What makes Amber especially unique and that she embraces the future of storytelling. She worked on over 15 films with the USC filmmaking students, including projects using LED wall technology, where physical costumes meet virtual worlds in real time. It's space where design isn't just about fabric anymore. It's about how costume interacts with light, environment, and digital space. And Amber thrives there. Her range is kind of astonishing. From period dramas to sci-fi, from independent films to over 450 mobile game commercials, Amber adapts, builds, and creates across formats. She designed for musicians, crafted pieces for world tours, sewed for Shania Twain's 2019 American Music Award performance, contributed to Netflix production, and stitched costumes for everything from ballet dancers to dogs to robots. And somehow it all makes sense, because at the core of it, it's a character. Some of Amber's artwork has been featured in magazines, now available at Skylight Art Books and the Last Bookstore. In her last mixed media film project, It Sounds Like Wind, Amber designed and built every costume working alongside fellow Woodbury alum, Lake Peterson, in collaboration that blends puppetry, film, and tactile design. From building dragons on the runway to shaping worlds on screen and stage, Amber has shown what it means to design without limits. Please join me in congratulating Amber Luke on receiving the Alumni Award in Costume Design. Congratulations to our 3 alumni again. They are an inspiration to our students, and their journeys remind us that costume isn't just a linear path. It's not one path, it's many. And now, welcome to Resilience. Thank you.
I actually was a student at Woodbury 21 years ago, and coming back here and teaching after all those years, it's such a blessing to be here, and I'm very thankful for that. I guess being in the industry for so long and then coming back and sharing my experience with the students and giving all the knowledge to them that I've learned throughout the years is just something that was a big goal of mine to do. As an Armenian designer, my heritage plays a big role in my design process. Armenia has a long history of artistry and resilience, and I carry that with me in everything that I do. I try to implement so much of my craftsmanship and construction to my students. So it's been a wonderful process showing the students my work, as well as looking at their work and teaching them the different ways of construction. It was like I was doing it with them, and they were just kind of looking and taking examples from that. Being able to show my collection with my students is such a blessing because they're able to see the work that I've done and implement the things that I teach them into their designs as well. Aside from fashion, jewelry design is also a very big thing that I do. I incorporate silver from Armenia into a lot of my pieces, connecting my heritage directly to my design process. I love creating extravagant pieces that are going to complement every garment that I make. Well, mentoring young designers is probably one of the most fulfilling things that I've ever done in my career. Being able to show my students my work and also the techniques that I've learned over the years and teaching them how to be creative and not be afraid to really let themselves shine and put their own creativity into everything that they do, and then watching them flourish throughout the year is just so rewarding to me. I really hope that they can take the confidence and show them that they all have the ability to create greatness because they're all so talented and such a wonderful group of students. I was very privileged to be a part of their lives this entire year and to be able to go through the year with them and show them and see them grow. I just hope I've taught them a little bit more about life and about things that they need that they can take with them.
Last year, my colleague Wayne Castning collaborated with Francois Demit from Solstice Lace Company to launch Woodbury's lace competition, and I'm so excited to continue it for another year. Francois joined us in December to present the masterclass on the history of French lace. Solstice is known for the richness and diversity of its lace designs, its extensive color palette, and cutting-edge innovation. Through Solstice Academy, the company is committed to helping the next generation of designers discover the world of French lace. Solstice Academy works with 9 leading fashion schools across the United States. We feel honored that our students are now part of this inspiring network through the Solstice Academy competition. Over winter break, students developed their ideas and presented mood boards and sketches. The Solstice team reviewed all the submissions and selected 5 finalists for the competition. Each finalist received 5 yards of lace valued at $1,000. From there, the students created patterns, draped their designs, and constructed their garments under the mentorship of our amazing faculty, Diana Avitan, Alex Sellers, and Jack Zisvain. We were also generously supported by Woodbury's Faculty Development Grant, which helped cover the additional materials needed to complete each garment. And now, these 5 finalists are ready to reveal their Solstice lace designs. I'm Anna Leiker, and I'm director of the fashion design program. This year, we celebrate the meaningful collaboration with the local theater group Conundrum. Our students created costumes for their stage production Ragtime. Over the course of the project, our students, led by the Professor Diana Avitan, designed and constructed more than 40 garments for the actors. The performers came to our studios for fittings, allowing students to experience the full collaborative process between designer and performer, and to reflect a specific historical period, the director's vision, and the actors' individual needs. The production ran for 7 performances in Los Angeles in December. Students in this civic engagement class also had to be adaptable. When a few actors were replaced by understudies, new costumes had to be fitted at the last minute, giving students a real-world experience working under the pressure of live theater. We're grateful for the generous support of Woodbury's University Agency of Civic Engagement, whose funding helped make the students' project possible. We would like to thank the talented actors and the head of the theater team, Brian Snodgrass, and the producer, Brennan Klitzner, for helping us showcase our students' work this evening.
My name is Vincent Ward. I'm a menswear designer. I am doing a collection called Still I Do. It's going to be a men's bridal collection. My past has been fairly rough, and I've been dealing with a lot of financial burdens and emotional burdens. My father died at the end of my junior year. Planning a funeral, but also going to school full-time, going to work part-time. I want him to feel proud. He was an amazing father. I also just got engaged. I decided to design some looks that could potentially be in our wedding. I was inspired by women's bridal collections. My collection has a lot of pinstripes, a long train, rhinestones. I think one's gonna be a cape. My collection can show one message. It would be that menswear is gonna change.
Hi, my name is Hilary Rhoda, and my collection is inspired by Filipino mythology. I want to portray a pre-colonial diwatas, the deities, the aswang, like the monsters, or like folklore stories that I grew up with. One of my looks, it's inspired by Lisuga, the goddess of stars. It is a two-piece look with beading all around it. I'm using a bunch of different fabrics from the Philippines, specifically from the Visayas and Mindanao region. I'm using yakan, abaca, sinamay. They're all hand woven. It's not something people typically make clothes out of. I want the audience to see a collection and designs that invoke a feeling of merriment. I want them to feel like the goddesses are in the room with us and they can feel their true, authentic selves.
My collection is inspired by the spirit of The Sound of Music. The designs balance structured craftsmanship with whimsical elegance, capturing the feeling of music, freedom, and storytelling through fashion. I started off with big gowns, flowy, whimsical designs, and then I started doing a bit more ready-to-wear, structured jacket, pants. It was challenging to work with all of the fabrics. I worked with silk to peony. I had to do a lot of fabric manipulation. I turned flat chiffon into this crinkled fabric. I also had little ties around the wrists and a big tie around the neck. Also pants with some nice pleat. My favorite piece in my collection is my men's look. The jacket I'm wearing today is part of my collection and it's gonna be shown in the fashion show as well. It's made from tweed and then it has a little two-way zipper. My name is Julia Lofiego and the name of my collection is Whispers of Love.
is Sid Afshar. My collection is called Pishkesh, which means presentation. And this is kind of like me presenting my culture that is Idaho, Western, and my West Asian culture, which is Persian, Iranian. My collection is mainly based off of the Shahnameh, as well as my Western roots, because I grew up in Idaho. The Shahnameh is basically a mythology book that follows a lot of heroes and their quests to save different people. Growing up in Idaho, I was able to tap into my culture a lot, so a lot of Western influence had bled into it. And I wanted to write a love letter to my cultures, even though I am fully Persian. We have Persian rugs in every room, and seeing that rich tapestry, all of these stories being told, I really wanted to bring it into fashion. So I hope that when people see my collection, they can say, wow, I can really see the Persian influence, I can see the Western influence, I can see who this person is.
My collection's name is The Divine Memory. What inspired my collection was the body. We're all born the same, regardless of where we came from, where we grew up, our heritage, our background. Because I grew up Mexican, so I wanted to work with different skin tones, making it very inclusive, making it for everyone. I just had a niece this past year, and just seeing how pure she was and how tiny she was, it shows how we're all the same. So that's what guided me to where I am now for this collection. I worked with a lot of nude meshes, nude silks, chantilly lace. I worked with a lot of couture gowns and dresses. My studio is such a safe space. Anything that I'm thinking, I can just make it. I truly love it. My name is Alan Pinetto, and I hope you enjoy my collection.
give a big round of applause for all our Woodbury student designers featured in tonight's show. Starting with the class of 2028, our sophomore designers. The class of 2027, our junior designers. And now, please welcome the graduating class of 2026, Woodbury University's senior fashion designers. The first prize winner of the 2026 Solstice Academy is the team of Caitlin Smith and Romina Orozco Ruiz for their Let Them Eat Cake dress. They will be receiving $3,000 worth of Solstice lace. The other three participants of the 2026 Solstice Academy will receive the Lace Expert Certificate. They are Vincent Ward, Belen Mendoza Vasquez, and Tatul Shabazian. The recipient of the Senior Award for Fashion Innovator is presented to Vincent Ward. The recipient of the Senior Award for Rising Star is presented to Alan Panetto. Please give one more big round of applause for all of our Woodbury University designers. Thank you for joining us for Woodbury University's 61st Annual Runway Benefit, Resilience.